What is up, everyone? We're here with Ben. Ben won our last official EX6 locals, but we haven't been at locals for a while, hey. So
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
it's been a little while, so take us through the list, my man.
Yeah, so one with Mirage, it was just 3 round locals, and off the top of my head, the matchups were two Mustamon, but they were two very different builds, and then it was one Diabora.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so I was just running through eggs first, so we'll talk about matchups at the end. Yeah, so I only run 3 eggs, so I've got the two Wanya ones just for draw power, and then one Buka because the jamming is just always good. So why run 3 eggs? Like, it's nothing crazy. It's just to ensure I get the 1 and 3 Bukamon instead of the 1 and 4 Bukamon.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I'd rather see this egg, especially if you don't have the level 4 that we'll talk about later under it.
And I'm guessing if you went through more than 2 eggs, like the game's over, right? Like,
Yeah, more or less, because like how I play it with less eggs, I just kind of sit in the back a little bit more and just sort of play the field until I'm ready to actually go Ooga Booga, and then I'll promote with my stack and go, okay, time to win.
yeah, classic stack deck, man.
Yeah, we love stack decks. Yeah, so after our eggs, we'll go to our rookies. So we'll start with our searcher rookies in the Gaomons. Yeah, so I just revealed top 3 cards, had a Digimon card with Gaoga in the name, and a Tamer, and the rest go to the trash. I've got no idea why the rest go to the trash. It's the only searcher I know that does it that like isn't purple or anything. Like,
Yeah, it's such a purple effect. It always gets me when I'm playing with Andrea, and he'll go to bottom with them, and I'm like, they go to the bit. Like, it doesn't really matter, but like it could.
Yeah, so like, I got no idea why they decided it was. I think they just knew you're going to draw like crazy and like maybe deck out. I don't know,
Yeah,
try and
maybe just
balance
make
it or
it
some shit.
riskier.
Yeah, but like I still play it as a 4 just because searching's always good. Like, it increases the consistency of the deck, so that's what you're really chasing here. The inheritable doesn't come up too much, but it's really good just to get rid of like Modokis before you go into your Mirage and stuff like that.
True.
That way you can actually target what you want to target with your effect instead of being forced to target a Modoki or a Chumon or something like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we'll start with like your best rookie in the deck is your EX4 Gaomon. This is your bread and butter. It is just crazy good. Like, the inheritable is the best part. It's just scanning memory if you added a card to your opponent's hand.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Now that's what we're all about in Mirage. We just want to add cards to our opponent's hand and get a bunch of memory for it. The on play does come up every now and then, where you're trying to burst and go for game, and you need your opponent to draw to continue your combo. You just play this out, and you both draw 1. That way, you both go to 9. That's the only reason. Like, it's handy in the hand, but you'd always rather this in the stack.
Yep, fair. So this is your typical put on the stack Gaomon.
Yeah, this is always put on the stack Gaomon.
Yeah. And
then you've got your BT13 Gaomon. I'm not even going to lie, this card sucks. Like, I wouldn't take this list to a tourney. This is a very, hey, I want to stick on theme locals list.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, but later on, I'm more than happy to talk about what I'd actually take to a big tourney like a regional. Yeah, so for this Gaomon, you just play, it's just once per turn, if this card attacks, we both draw a card from the deck. Like, this used to be a lot better when we'd play Nikolai in the deck. Like, if you don't know what Nikolai does, it pretty much just gives any one of your Digimon with Gaomon or Gaoga in the name jamming.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so you used to have to play Nikolai before you got a lot more mainstream with your jamming effects.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because my go-to opening play when BT13 first dropped was drop this Gaomon and you're raising, and then play Nikolai. The next turn you promote, swing, gain memory, draw cards.
Right, so you get a draw, gain a memory, get jamming. Cool.
Yeah, and then you can digivolve onto your other Gaomon that plays a Thomas for free and do that and shit. Like, it was really good.
Right.
Yeah, but like, if I were to take this to a tourney, this is the first rookie I cut. Like, it's just a very mid rookie.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like the plus 1,000 is okay, but like, it doesn't really matter if you have jamming.
Yeah, you're gonna have either the Buka or the Gaogomon later with jamming, so it's kind of like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this will be the first rookie to go when I talk about other cards later on, when we talk about like what I actually take to a tourney.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to our level 4s now. So it's just 4 of this new Gaogomon from BT16.
Yep.
This Gaogomon is incredible. I love it so much. Yeah, so it's pretty much when did you roll? Both players draw a card, and then if they got 8 or more, you gain 1, or if you've got 3 or more sources, gain a memory. The 3 or more sources will never come up because there's not the deck for it. But the when digivolving always comes up because you digivolve for 2, draw a card, they got 8 or more, gain a memory back.
True, and you do play both the decks that this is for.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's why I love this card so much.
Yeah, you would.
But yeah, yeah. And then you just got the inheritable jamming, which is ridiculous in an OTK deck like this.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, so you play this as a 4-off because 1, it's a consistency piece, and 2, jamming is jamming. Jamming is always going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't know what jamming does, you pretty much swing in security and you don't die by battles in security. You'll still die to options and other effects, but you won't die to the battle. So that's the best champion of the deck. You always want to see this one. But if you don't see this one, or if you already got Bruka in your stack, your next one you probably want to go into is your EX4. Yeah, EX4, Gaomon. So when digivolving, you just bounce a level 3 to your hand. And the inheritable is the same as the EX4 Gaomon, where you gain a memory if you add a card by an effect.
Yeah, that's huge.
Thing. Yeah. So, buddy, back in the day before EX4 Mock got hit, these 2 cards were innocent 4-offs. Because you could just turbo in tier 6. Like, and it was just crazy good. Like, because I remember playing this when BT11 first dropped, and it sucked ass. It sucked so much ass. Like, because you had to play it, like, the way I was playing it was like a Jellymon, Gaogomon deck. It was fucking shit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was so much, like, it was fun, though, because, like, it was a cool Digimon, but, like, yeah, it sucked. Yeah, so we'll move on to the next champion is your Gaogomon from 13, where Digivolve, if you don't have a Thomas, you get to play Thomas for free. So you can go down on this now just because of how memory efficient you are and how streamlined you want to be. You only ever really need to see 1 Thomas a game.
Right.
Maybe 2 in a pinch. But if you see it, you see it. You don't, it's fine. Like, one of my favorite things doing is when you burst mode, you obviously pounce a Thomas back to your hand to digivolve into it.
Yeah.
I like playing the EX4 Gaomon, so we both draw a card. Then I'll digivolve into this to play Thomas back out again for free, because that's just the only one I had on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you try and get as much value out of you can as this card. But yeah, the inheritable is very, very dead as well, especially if you've got jamming in the stack.
Yeah, plus 1,000's kind of a nothing.
Like, it's okay. Like, it helps you avoid DP deletion effects, but, like, not really, because 5,000, 6,000 is not a huge difference.
True.
Especially into decks like Numamon or Shine, even. Yeah, and so we'll go over to our hybrid, which is Kurikakumon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I play Kurikakumon because I hate Ruin mode. I hate being shut out by it. Yeah, I hate being shut out by it, so this lets me play through that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I know a lot of lists do tend to land on the Lanamon, because you can digivolve and then tuck a rookie under it for jamming.
Yeah.
But, like, you'll never get to that 6k range with Lanamon, so you're always just better off going to Kurikaku, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like,
look, that's a fair thing to play around.
Yeah, like, you'll never hit your when digivolving effects, and that's fine. Like, you're not really playing it for its when digivolve. You're playing it purely for the fact that you're 6k, and that's it.
It's a 6k hybrid.
Yeah, so
unless you put your tamers on the field, and they kind of just do nothing after a while, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is only really if you're in a pinch. You ever really want to do this?
Yeah, it's the push for game.
Yeah, more or less, or just try and get out of a bad situation.
True.
Where you need to climb into your 5s and your 6 real quick. Yeah, sweet as. So we'll go to our 5s now.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, so we got 3 of the BT11 Mock Gaogomons, where when digivolving, gain blocker and 2k for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. I was talking about how DP is not that crazy before, but the way I play this deck, it kind of is with this. Like, only just because you're a big blocker idiot and you can't be run over as easily.
Fair enough. This card also gives you so much more DP than, like, the 1,000 from before, right? This is 2,000 for every 4 cards.
2,000.
Like,
yeah, so minimum you usually crack at least 11k with this dude.
Yeah.
Like, there have been games where I've cracked, nearly 13k, 15k with this dude. I'm just like, yeah, sweet. Yeah, so what you really like doing, because you don't want to miss timing with your inheritable. So your inheritable is when an effect adds a card to your opponent's hand, you unsuspend.
Right.
If you're already in your Mirage stack, you can miss this inheritable heaps.
Yeah.
Just because of how the timing of everything works.
Yeah, because it's a once per turn, and it's a when. You don't get the choice, right? You have to do
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, it's mandatory effect, so you do
Yeah.
miss the timing a lot. So like your dream combo is getting this jamming, swinging, then going into your MirageGaogomon.
Right.
That way you get a cheeky bit of chip, and then you actually unsuspend. Because the one with a good inheritable got limited to one, so your options for inheritables aren't crazy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so this one lets you be a big blocker for a turn, and then you kind of just get on the aggressive after that. And then we'll talk about the next Mock Gaomon, which is BT13. I've been playing this idiot since BT13.
Yeah.
Like, it only recently got a real big resurgence thanks to Magnamon X.
I remember you used to say it helps because we do have a Machine Dramon player at locals, and you said it was really good into that.
Yeah, because you don't just auto lose to Machine Dramon now, you can actually just get around it, because it's not just, you're not unblockable, you can't be redirected.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they changed how that wording works now. Like, blocking is redirecting now or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's right. They have said it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but so you swing with this one, and you're always trying to get the jamming under it, whether it be via this one or your Bukamon. But yeah, so you always swing with your jamming, and Digivolve again to get your unsuspend, because it's the exact same inheritable as the BT11 one.
Oh, it is too, yeah.
Yeah, identical inheritables. So when you can, you try and swing with your fires, but if not, it's okay. That's not the end of the world.
Right.
My biggest thing with Mirage, and to anyone trying to play Mirage, is don't get too greedy. Like, the OTK will come, you just don't force it. Because you don't want to play into your opponent's aces all the time and whatnot and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fair. So be patient.
Yeah, like, just wait for an opportunity, like a good opportunity to actually start swinging in, and don't just do it willy-nilly for sake of. Like, if you don't get maximum value out of the card, it's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll just talk about the last, the Mock Gaomon, which is the limited one, the EX4.
The one.
So this pretty much got hit, well, in my opinion, just because it turboed through your decks so quickly.
Oh yeah.
Because if your opponent left a 4 on board, it was literally a 1-cost evolution, and then you just go into Mirage the next, like, the same turn.
Oh yeah, with the rest of the EX4 line. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what I was doing at locals when this first came out. I was just bouncing everyone's level 4s and just turboing through shit. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then the inheritable is a little bit different on this. It's when attacking, if your opponent has 8 or more, unsuspend. So 8's a magic number in your opponent's hand for Mirage. And this was just super good with it, because you could hardly ever miss timing with this.
Right.
Yeah, but this card, yeah, it's insane. If it was back at 4, like, Mirage would be easily the best deck in the format, in my opinion.
Yeah, you just play 4 of this, and then what, a 2-2 split of the others?
Probably just dog the blocker one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because, like, if you're playing this, you just want to go full gas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, with the meta the way it is now, especially in 17, yeah, you just want full gas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, with how fast the Ancient Guru decks are, and Numamon is, and even Imperial now, because of all the source stripping and how quick they can just burn through security.
That's very true.
Yeah, you just want to race everybody. So this is at 4, yeah, it just replaces the BT 11 ones.
Well, if it comes off the list, you know what to do.
Yeah. Well, play this card, it's good. Anyway,
good.
Yeah. So move on to the 6s now. We'll start with our BT 11 MirageGaogomon. The amount of times I've heard this card's unfair, it's crazy.
This card is nuts.
It's actually incredible. Like, from BT 11, it's probably the only card that's really held up. Because, like, Blackwall Grey's dead at the moment. What else is BT 11? Yeah,
it's crazy that a Gaomon deck is dead, but they'll come back.
Yeah, they'll come back. They always do.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on locals, man. Josh is brewing.
True, he would be. He would be.
Yeah, so what this Mirage does is returns your level 5 or lower from your opponent's board to your hand, and if it doesn't, you add the top card of security instead.
Whoa, this is Ancient Garurumon before Ancient
Yeah,
Garurumon.
this is Ancient Garurumon from Wish now.
Yeah, straight up.
The only thing is, you have a little more control because it's just a 5 or lower, so you can target what you want.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, so if your opponent's just got heaps of stuff on board, you can target what you want, where Ancient Guru has to be the lowest level.
Oh, right. So yeah, there's actually a bit more flexibility here.
Yeah, a little bit more flexibility, and the memory gain is just infinitely better.
True,
but the
you
thing
get
with
that
Ancient
memory.
is, Ancient Guru will always get both effects. You always bounce something, and if you do, you trash security, where this is one or the other.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Like, into the Mass A matchups, this card was so good.
Yeah, that's
just because you bounce at level 5s before they can Jogres or DNA Jogres. Or you'd bounce a Chaos deck from security, and it actually happened once, and it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
Oh, bro, I felt so good. Yeah, but this card is your main combo piece. It's the bread and the butter of the deck. It lets you do what you need to do as quick as you need to do it. Like, if you don't see this card, you more than likely will lose the game.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
Yeah, it's a hard fact. Like, I've seen some lists try to go down on this, and I'm just like, dude, I don't disagree.
It's not the card to go down on.
No, it's definitely not. The card you go down on is the next card we'll talk about, which is
this guy.
13 Mirage. I like it. I think it's really cool. It's just not nearly as good as the other one.
Yeah.
Like, funnily enough, this is really good into the Mirage matchup too. Oh, not the Mirage matchup, the Master Mount matchup too, because you bounce their Mirages.
Oh yeah, that's really good. The expensive Tamer bounce.
Yeah, it's so good. So what this one does, you bounce a Tamer instead of a Digimon, and then if you add a card to your opponent's hand via an effect, you play one of your Tamers for free.
Oh right, yeah, one of your Thomas. Nice.
Yeah. So this lets you cheat out your Thomases more consistently than the level 4 does. And it also has got the keyword evade, which doesn't really come up.
I was going to say, does evade ever come up?
No, not really. It can do with the unsuspend inheritables of the BT11 and BT13.
Yeah.
But other than that, it doesn't really come up a whole lot because you just always rather just go straight into the BT11 line in the BT11 Mirage.
Yeah, that's very fair.
If you have a choice, you always go this one. But yeah, this is just to mainly fulfill the name MirageGaogomon.
Makes sense. It's on theme. It plays the part.
Yeah, because another Mirage I was considering playing for a while was the BT4 one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because what you do is you Digivolve for 4, and you gain a memory for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand.
Oh yeah, BT4. I'm just reading it now.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
Unblockable.
Unblockable, yeah, that's why I was tinkering with it, because you're unblockable.
Yeah, not bad. Evolve for 4 is a bit rough, but you do gain that memory similar to the other one.
Because all your Mirages are Evolve for 4.
Oh, right, they are too, yeah.
Yeah, so none of them are Evolve for 3, which sucks.
Oh, you do be gaining that memory?
Yeah, exactly. So you always gain it back, but it's fine.
Yeah,
so we'll move on from that to our 7s now, because I've said everything I want to say about these two idiots.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll go to the 7. The game winner, the old MirageGaogomon Burst Mode.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't know, this has a mechanic called Burst Evolution. So you pretty much return a Thomas to your hand, and you can Digivolve over your MirageGaogomons for 0. But at the end of the turn, you de-Digivolve yourself, essentially.
Which is normally so good, because you normally de-Digivolve to the BT11 Mirage. And then your opponent searches on their turn, and you're just like, I gained memory.
Yeah, because in one of the Master Demon matchups, my opponent Digivolved for 1 in the back into Uko, like the Searcher Uko.
Yeah.
So I just de-Digivolve and sit on Mirage and go, I dare to promote Ukomon.
Oh yeah, if they promote Uko, they just lose a bunch of memory. That's pretty funny.
It was fucking so funny, man. I felt so guilty there, but I was like, it is what it is.
You gotta do it to them.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Yeah, so it's when Digivolving, you can return any Digimon to the hand, so there's no level restriction, which is really good. So you can put 7s, 3s, whatever you want. You just target 1 Digimon and return to the hand, then gain a memory for every 4.
Huge.
So even if you don't return a Digimon, you will still gain that memory.
Oh, you still get okay. That's massive. Yep.
Yeah. So it just says return to Digimon, and then because it's got that comma in it, you still get the memory.
So ideally, you want to bounce the level 3 tamer, right? The three
Yeah.
play
So
boss tamer.
either or, to be honest. But like, yeah, you always kind of want to bounce your 3 back to do like the perfect combo. You'd want your BT13 Thomas, which we'll talk about now.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, we'll talk about that real quick, and then get back to the burst mode.
Okay.
So you always want this. You always want this one on your board because when you attack, when your Digimon with Gao go attack, you tap it, and you and your opponent both draw.
Right.
Which enables this card a lot more because every time you attack, you your bottom deck up to as many cards in your opponent's hands until they have 8.
Yeah, and it's randomly picked too. Hey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you swing with this, they go down to 8. You restand. On your next attack, you activate your Thomas first because they're both when attacking timing. You can choose your Thomas first.
Right.
So you tap Thomas, and then they're back at 9 again. So you get to trigger this again because it's not a once per turn effect.
Oh yeah, it's not once per turn. Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, it's so good. Like this is literally your game-winning card. If you go into this and you don't win in that next turn, like I said before, it's okay. It's going to help you set up the win.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you rip your opponent's cards out of their hand, and hopefully you rip all the good ones out.
Yeah, rip out them ace card.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, and then this Thomas is also just your memory setter. So like it's just really good in that sense. It's just good memory setter and tap, draw a card. It just enables what Mirage really wants to do. Did I just cut you off for a sec or?
No.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something, my bad.
No, I just said
yes, sir.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah, then we'll go to our next Thomas, which I think is like the most underrated card in this deck.
Yeah, I think this card's really good.
Yeah, so it's just on play, trigger draw one, which is, yeah, whatever. Like, it increases the consistency, I suppose. But the main effect is cracked. So if your opponent has 8 or more cards, you can tap this card to unsuspend one of your Digimon with Gao in their name. Which is everything in this deck except for Kakakuri.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the amount of times you've got jamming in your stack, and you just want to tap this to unsuspend is crazy. Because you obviously want to try and use this first before you burst Digivolve into it.
Right.
Because after your memory gain, you can slap this back down, because you usually get enough back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then when you start swinging again, you can tab this to unsuspend.
Yeah, so putting this down and then bursting it back to hand seems pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it just enables so much like potential because like the amount of times I've sat on a 5 and swung, tapped one of these to restand, and then bloody then gone to burst after that. It's just so good.
Huge.
Yeah, so we're done with Mirage with the Tamers. We'll go on to the options now, which we'll start with the 4 mental training. This, you can't argue, this has to be 4. You need to see your pieces, and this enables you to see your pieces.
Yeah, it gets you all of them, huh?
Yeah, literally. Like, it gets you every single card you want in your deck, and it reduces your Digivolution cost, which is huge, because it turns you on turn or 2 quicker. Like, I've had games where I was sat in the back and played 2 or 3 of these before I decided to promote. And then I just win the game from there, just because being able to search, grab exactly what you need, and then go nuts is crazy.
True. Can even come out a sec, and then you're just like, oh, cool, I can pop off next turn now.
Yeah, literally. And at 4 of, you're going to see it in security every now and then.
Yeah.
Or you're going to see it in your opener every now and then, which is hectic either way.
Yeah, both is good.
Yeah. And then we'll go to the little spicy tech. We'll go to the old Hammer Spark.
Big.
So if I was playing a quote-unquote more meta build, I'd probably swap these out for Blue Memory Boost, just to add consistency to the decks.
Right.
But I like playing Hammer Spark just because when it was BT16 EX6 meta, obviously your sec bombs aren't going to work against Digimon like Magnet X.
Oh, yeah. Very true.
Yeah, but this doesn't really care about it. It just says gain 2 memory, so you can still turn off Magnet X's.
Yeah, right. I like that.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I sort of play Hammer Spark, and just an extra memory is always good if you need to push for something, or it's like an extending piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you see it, it's nice, but at the same time, it's not mandatory. So you could probably swap 2 out for a blue memory boost, and then 1 for like an ice wall or something.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and then we'll just quickly go over our last option, which is Full Moon Meteor Impact. This is Blue's best removable card by a long shot, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Because it's pretty much Kikaitis Breath on crack. Because you gain memory after using it. Like, it's insane.
It's true, and with ace cards, you can gain a whole lot of memory.
Yeah, like the amount of times I've put this on an opponent's ace and just gained turn back is wild. Like, unfortunately, the security effect is a little different. You don't get the memory.
Oh yeah, you just return one.
Which is still good, don't get me wrong. It's just not nearly as strong as just dropping it for 8. Yeah, and that's the 50 card list so far.
Hell yeah. Well, congrats on winning the very last BT16. Oh, sorry, EX6 tournament.
Yeah, EX6, yeah. It was a good fun because we matchups were, yeah, like I said before, it was 2 Master and 1 Diabora. The Diabora was absolutely terrifying just because I didn't know what it done.
Yeah.
It just digivolves your heaps. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Well, the good news is if they were trying to, if both decks were trying to ace you, you have so many cards that bounce their 5s back to their hand.
Yeah, literally. And like sometimes I'd wait for them to get their 6 out, so I do bounce to 6.
Right.
Yeah, so I like target something with Mirage, bounce to 5, and if they already had an ace on board, I'd go into burst and just bounce the ace and just go from there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but like into the Mass Day matchups, you always just want to clear their 5s before you start getting aggressive. Like you do need to be lucky into Mass Day Mon though, because if you hit Chaos Stag, it is probably game losing just about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got incredibly lucky and I didn't hit a single Chaos Stagger security.
Hey, just skill gapped, man.
Yeah, it's just, skill diff.
He's good. He's got to be cracked.
Yeah, but Mirage is a very OTK-centric deck. It's still very playable into 7E, even with all the new blue decks running around like Ancient Guru and Gabu, Gabubond again. Like, it's still very playable. But I'd 100% be comfortable taking this to a regional event soon.
Yeah, sweet as. Keen to see what you do with the build in BT17.
Yeah, I have to look over everything and do what I do. Just try and cook something up.
Hell yeah. Well, we've got a BT17 profile of you coming soon, playing something else though.
True that. Yeah, true that, bro. True that. Yeah, but like I said, this is a very locals list. I wouldn't take this exact list to a big tourney. But if you take this to locals, you're going to have a heap of fun.
Hell yeah.
And that probably just about wraps it up, doesn't it?
Alright, sweet. Well, a big thank for the profile. And good luck in BT17, King.
Yeah, cheers, man. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
Alright, peace.